to another episode of With Good Company, and this one I've been looking forward to for a while. We're here with Dr. Kellen Scantlebury of Fit Club New York. These interviews have been about founding a business and startups, but today we're also going to get into things like NFTs and the digital age and all that fun stuff. So first of all, Kellen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful space here in Astoria that you have. And I kind of want to maybe start at the beginning, kind of where did you grow up? Was it here in Queens or?
So actually born in Queens, raised in Long Island. Now I'm back again. We're here in Astoria, Queens. I actually live down the street from the clinic. It's beautiful. I get to walk to work, first time ever. I get to experience that. Gift and a curse. Thought I would be home more. I'm actually here more, but grew up in Long Island and basketball player, got a full scholarship to play college basketball at LIU, CW Post back in the day. Shout out to the Pioneers.
I'm a St. John's guy, so I'm going to have to stop you there.
Johnny's, D2, D1, so, we never got a chance to play you guys. We were supposed to actually play St. John's one year and never happened. Came into fruition, yeah.
Well, let's take a step back a little bit. So you're a kid, you're kind of grown up. Did you think that this was going to be the type of field that you were going to get into? Were you just at that time not even thinking about it, or?
No, at that time I fully thought I was going to be a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
Like that was like plan A, plan B, plan C. Nowhere in my peripheral was there I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to own a physical therapy practice. That idea didn't even come into my brain, honestly, until my senior year in college.
Okay.
I broke my foot playing with these guys from overseas, and I was forced to work with a physical therapist. And that's when I saw myself like, hey, I can, see myself doing this, helping other athletes, giving back to athletes in this way. And that's what opened, the doors to the field for me.
That's awesome. So, okay, then, that unfortunate circumstance drives you to that next step, and you obviously, you finished up your degree in physical therapy. Yeah?
Yep. So that was, I was undergrad, so it was a bio major. So I finished off my senior year there. I took a year off. That was where I was still like, do I want to try to play professionally? Do I want to grow up and actually be an adult? And it came to just the trajectory of my life, right? If I went to play pro, let's say I played for 4 years, I still would have to come back and then go to grad school, and that would be another 3 to 4 years. So it's just life starts to move by you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I just made the executive decision, you know what, I'm going to forego trying to play professionally, and I'm going to go to school. So I went to school, went to Stony Brook, got my doctorate degree from Stony Brook in 2013, and just haven't looked back.
Cool. So when you got out of school, was it, hey, let's start my own business right away, or did you work for another organization first?
Yeah, so I worked for another organization. I got paid to learn, honestly, and that's something that I always encourage others to do. Is in the beginning, you might really be chomping at the bits to open up your business, but being paid to learn is something that definitely want to take advantage of. So I worked for a company for about a year and a half. What really made me take the leap of faith and start my business was that I got passed up on a few managerial roles that I felt I was ready for. Yeah. And I was told I was too young and wait my time and it'll come, it'll happen. And I'm sure it would have, but I knew I was ready then. Yeah. And I wasn't going to wait for someone to say, hey, now I believe you're ready.
Yeah. I mean, from hearing that, two things that immediately pop out. One, the getting paid to learn is a big thing, because you kind of have to know the rules before you can start maybe breaking them a little bit. So it's amazing to have that opportunity, because that's similar to what happened with me working at a small agency to start out. And then, I think that kind of drive of maybe being passed over when you feel like you're ready, and also kind of having an understanding of the rules, that definitely is something that probably drives a person to do their own thing. When you did decide to open up your own shop, What was the feeling like from your family and friends? Were they like, yes, this is the right decision, or were they like, no, you should kind of stay in something that's maybe a little bit more secure or stable?
I would say my family in particular was very supportive.
Okay.
You know, my grandfather was an entrepreneur. He owned a barbershop in South Ozone, Queens. I think my mom and dad have always seen me as someone who likes to do things my way.
Yeah.
You know, so they were just very supportive, and I just explained it to them in the way that, listen, I'm young now, so if this doesn't work, I can always work for someone. Like, you know, being a physical therapist is a great degree. Like, I'm always going to have like job opportunities out there.
Yeah.
But like, why not try it now? So they were very supportive. Friends, supportive in like rah spirit. Like, let's go. You're going to do this. You know, you can take as many days off as you want. I'm like, wait, hold on, bro. You don't start a business to be like, I can take as many days off as I want.
I think that's the thing that people don't realize. People think that, hey, you're going to start your own business and you're going to relax. No.
That's it.
You work double.
Work double, triple, quadruple. Yeah, I think that is a big myth out there. Yeah, I'm going to start my own business and then I'm going to be the person who just gets to like sit back while others do it. And it's like, nah, man, like, you're the business owner, you're the janitor, you're the marketer, you're the operator, like, you're everything, you know, and you got to run the show. So, yeah, that was a very interesting phase of Fit Club. For sure.
Well, that actually brings up a really good question. Of like, so you just said all those, wearing all those hats. Was there anything that you felt was giving you trouble to start out, or did you feel like, hey, I'm kind of figuring this out and you know, I'm kind of getting it under control?
Yeah. So initially for, you know, any business, you need customers, right? So marketing was something that was huge, and you and I have had a long-standing relationship.
Yeah.
So like, you were actually one of the people that was very instrumental in the beginning parts of, you know, the Fit Club journey.
And same for you to me. So thank you.
So that was huge. You know, getting the logo down, getting the website up, like the basics, right? Of how are people going to find me? I can be the best physical therapist in the world, but if no one knows who I am or how to get in contact with me, how good am I really? You know, so those were some of the things that just like off the baseline we had to get down. And then I think really not understanding, especially initially, like what it takes to be successful. You know, the showing up early, the staying late, I'm super tired, but I have a patient who wants to come in right now. I can either A, go home because I'm tired, or I can B, suck it up, see this person, and that person can lead to the next person. So like, those are some of the things initially that you just got to learn as you go. And I was fortunate in like with my discipline to make the hard choices easy. Make the hard choices early on, which has helped me with speed to get to where we are today.
That's an awesome point of view. Yeah, I can tell you that similarly, I've had situations where, you know, there's jobs or, you know, projects where you kind of grind through, and we were doing pro bono stuff at times where I'm like, what am I doing this for? And you know, kind of the discipline and the grind and you know, making sure that you get that always leads to kind of good stuff. So for sure, good point of view on that.
I'm glad you mentioned pro bono as well, though, because a lot of people are like ashamed to like do work for free, and you shouldn't be, you know, like, or discounted work, right? Discounted work is still you getting paid, right? So how I always like to explain it to, you know, my team is like, I'd rather have $40 of something and $0 of nothing, you know? So like, I understand not everyone's going to be able to pay the premium rate that we want. So we work with people, right? And I just, for any entrepreneur out there, you know, working for free was for someone who's a mega connector, who has connections to get you to where you want to be for the next step. That's not a shot at you or your worth, right? That's actually you providing value. Call it networking to get to the next spot that you want to be. So yeah, the pro bono work, the discounted work, you don't want to like be doing that all the time. But if it makes up 10% of like your total like yearly work and revenue, then that's totally fine.
Yeah, and the approach that we take to it is, for sure, it has to be a project or something that we really see that's worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in our case, that we have a lot more control over it, as far as, hey, what kind of creative we're doing and things like that. So, I mean, I'm sure there's, I think you have to be protective of your own brand, I feel like, but yeah, for sure, we found it to be a really great way, to get more work out there, and then also to meet other like-minded individuals. So for sure, a good point. So, okay, the first Fit Club location, Chelsea, I believe.
Chelsea, still rocking. Mm-hmm.
So you opened that up, and was it like, hey, everybody was knocking on the door right away, or was it a little bit of a slow burn? Or
honestly, I was really blessed in Chelsea. Really blessed. It was, I don't want to call it a rocket, but it was definitely something that was parabolic, where it was nice movement, upward trend consistently from the beginning. The biggest thing that I like to hang my hat on is like excellent care. So for us, people are used to needing physical therapy, but never wanting to actually go. What we created at Fit Club was an environment that people actually want to be a part of. So not only do people actually need our services, they want to be there. So they're talking about us, to their friends and family. They're bringing up their, hey, I hit my deadlift PR at physical therapy today, to their husbands, to their friends, and like, oh, well, my back hurts. Oh, well, my knee hurts. Should I go there? And it just organically grew. And then with the adding on of social, things really started to take off, because we were doing, Instagram, we were doing Facebook before a lot of other physical therapy brands were adding that to, their marketing repertoire. And it just got more eyes on us, more eyes.
I was going to talk to you about that a little bit, because I think from especially kind of like the startup point of view, you guys do social better than probably even some established companies, on a much larger scale, even in other business areas. So, was that something that was conscious from you? Like, hey, I need to be out there, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I have friends in media, and until I started hanging out around them, I didn't really realize how important media is. And media legit runs the world. So when I think of Fit Club, I think of us as almost like two companies, where I want my in-person services, the physical therapy, the personal training, the acupuncture, the massage therapy. But then I also think of it as almost like a media company. Like, do I have educational videos? Do I have educational blogs? Am I putting things out there that helps people escape their day-to-day? Like, those are the things that people want to read and ingest online. And then over time, subconsciously, oh, this is how low I should be doing my squat. Oh, this is what happens when you deadlift. Oh, this is what happens, and why am I getting back pain while I'm sitting and working for 8 hours while I'm working from home right now? And then when the people start to make those two connections, that's when they pick up the phone. Hey, I'd like to make a visit, or they click us online. Hey, I'd like to book an appointment, because those two things have to match. Most people are in pain for like 4 to 6 months before they even make a decision to do anything. So the media helps people along the way to actually making a decision.
And it establishes you as a thought leader, right? Like, I always tell people this, that like, not everybody is in the need for your services right at the moment, right? But if you, like you said, if you're putting out content, intelligent content, good, helpful content, when the need comes up, that's when you're top of mind, and that's when you form. So like, I always thought that, well, yes, you guys do obviously an awesome job with the physical therapy, but I felt like you guys could also give crash courses on social media training and things like that. So it's always good to see the content coming out there. So, okay, Chelsea location is doing great. Did you start hiring people right away, or did you have trainers that were just working? And how did that work? Was that something difficult for you? Or
managing people is the hardest part of the job, by far. And just like anything, you got to learn by, unfortunately, taking lumps. So hired some phenomenal people, hired some people who weren't phenomenal. There's knowing the people's intentions from the beginning is always hard. When you're interviewing, everyone's got their best game face on. So there were some ups and downs with the hiring process. and just turnover in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that was, as a young business owner, that was something that was frustrating. Someone starts 2 months later, they're no longer with the team. You have to explain that to patients that they saw. Like that was very frustrating part of the journey. But a vital part of the journey because I had to really, learn from that. So we started with one full-time physical therapist, another one who was part-time, and then just in a front desk care coordinator. And then we just were able to build and blossom from there.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So when did the second Fit Club location open?
So actually very shortly after Chelsea. So I would say 6 months after Chelsea, I was approached with a very unique proposition for a Williamsburg location and was able to jump on it at the time. Big leap of faith because we had just opened this other one, but it was just too good of an opportunity to not jump on. And yeah, it's weird because it started off really slow and then the pandemic happened. And then we actually blew up after the pandemic.
Right.
It was like someone lit a match and
I was going to talk to you a little bit,
crazy.
obviously, about the pandemic because health clubs, gyms were so affected by it. I've spoken to some gym owners who said, hey, some of it was caused maybe by some misinformation and fear from people. Other people have said, hey, it's a great thing that happened that things closed down and kind of got a reset.
Mm-hmm.
But how did that in general, you mentioned the Williamsburg location, but how did it overall affect your business? Was it still okay throughout or was it
We were very fortunate.
Yeah.
So I believe it was, March 16th, that Monday, stock market crash, just the vibe in New York was just off, just felt different. The 18th, everything shut down. We closed our offices. But in those 2 days, we went from a completely in-person practice where we've never seen anyone virtually ever before. And then within 2 days, we were completely 100% virtual practice, seeing everyone online. And that speed, that quickness, I know is what helped us be successful throughout the pandemic. I could have sat down and just said, all my patients, hey guys, we'll see you in 2 weeks, we'll see you in 3 weeks. But then things just kept getting worse and getting worse. But the fact that we were able to transition right on, hey, you can't come in for your appointments, we can do this virtually. Let me show you how it's done. I need you to get X, Y, and Z. We'll send you the links. We'll record the session. We'll send it to you. You have a video library of all the exercises that we do. We just quickly jumped all in on the virtual, and that literally kept us afloat through those 3 months where it was peak COVID here in New York City.
That's amazing. I think, and let me know if I'm right on this being kind of a startup and being able to control the information, control the content, did that give you maybe a leg up on some of the bigger?
Big time. A lot less, red tape that we had to go through. I'm like, all right, we're going virtual tomorrow, right? Yeah. Everyone, let's jump on a Zoom. Let's go through this. Let's practice. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to initiate. These are the words that we're going to use when we're talking to our patients. Why it's important for them to continue care right now. It was bigger businesses, just more loops you gotta go through and legal team this and gotta make sure, this is pushed by this person. Everyone's got to sign off on. Being small at that point was a real big advantage for us. We were able to move with speed and move with urgency.
The pivots that companies made during COVID are some of the most interesting conversations for me. I was talking with Taco Bell and they talked about how they saw the crisis as an opportunity and that they had been talking for quite a while to make things more virtual, more digital, and it just forced them, right? And they created elements of their website, whether it's their loyalty programs or online ordering, that probably would have taken them years to get approved, and they had to do it in months, right? And maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was much more than good enough to get the stuff done. So it's amazing to see the pivot that companies like they did, and you obviously had to make within, in your case, days,
Mm-hmm.
and probably stuff that's gonna help you in the long run, right? Because
Still going on now. Today, I had six clients this morning, back to back. Not one of them stepped foot into the office today. I had a patient in Zanzibar this morning, Africa. I had a patient in Atlanta, Georgia this morning. I had 2 in New York City. It's actually opened the doors to be able to see people in Atlanta. I had 2 from Atlanta actually this morning. You know, again, Africa, other countries, other continents. The virtual aspect, it creates so much less friction for appointments.
Yeah.
The person doesn't have to travel, spend 10 minutes getting ready, put their clothes on, then go down to the subway, then travel from the subway to go to the office to come up. Like, it just takes all of that out. And if we can be just as effective online in helping train someone, helping go through nutrition, someone helping to go through their rehab programs, then it actually has been a phenomenal service, and patients, clients are getting the same similar outcomes in a virtual manner as opposed to doing it, you know, in person.
You know, you bring up such a good point, because I was thinking of it, it's you guys just servicing your New York City kind of audience, but yeah, you guys now have the opportunity to be global, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, similar to like how people got comfortable getting their groceries delivered to their store, now people probably are a lot more comfortable getting their physical therapy and training virtually. So that's an amazing opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's you guys have done a great job in recognizing this crisis as an opportunity to grow. So that's very cool.
So many people are just working from home and hurting right now.
Yeah.
Mentally, financially, physically. I can't really help with the financial, and we're not, you know, mental health therapists here, but the physical health, teaching people different stretches, showing people different exercises, providing them with links of, you know, bands and things that they can have at home goes such a long way in helping their physical body, that then often leads to them feeling better mentally. And, you know, it's been crazy. We now know how animals in zoos feel because we've been working from home, and you know, mom is in this room, dad's in this room, kids school from home.
Yeah.
Like, it's just things have just shifted so much. But I believe it's here to stay. I believe that moving forward, 20% of our revenue is going to come from virtual appointments every single year for the rest of the life of Fit Club.
Yeah.
I just think like this is now a way, and it provides less friction. It's the executive, the CEO, who has literally no time in his day but that 30-minute window, that virtual session is perfect for them. You know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's access.
So, you know, thankfully you weathered the storm of the pandemic, and we opened up, thankfully, Astoria location 6 months ago or so.
Yeah, it was late July where we opened up our doors here. Again, another COVID provided a unique opportunity with rents in the city. So I was able to, jump on something that I felt was going to be a phenomenal deal, short-term and long-term for us.
People sometimes don't realize that some of the most successful businesses start during economic dips. You know, like you said, the opportunities that are there, whether it's for space, for talent, for whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, clearly you took the opportunity and you ran with it.
When others are trying to play it close to the vest, that's when I'm like, boom, let's jump in, you know?
Buy low, sell high.
That's
right?
it. It's classic.
So, we talked a little bit about social. We talked about a little bit about virtual. Obviously, you've also been very much at the forefront of other technologies, and NFTs are obviously a big talking point right now. And look, some of them are great, some of them are still kind of trying to figure it out. But I kind of love what you did that tied the NFTs that you guys created, which is the movement mummy. To the actual culture of Fit Club and movement over everything. So tell me a little bit about how that came to be.
So it all came through the pandemic, right? Everyone was working from home. 8 out of 10 patients I was seeing all had the same issues. Hey, I've been sitting at my computer now, at my couch, at a desk or at a table at home where it's not ergonomically set up for me. I have neck pain, I have shoulder pain, I have upper back pain. So I was getting that 8 out of 10 for my new evaluations. I'm like, what can I put out there that helps the masses as like everyone's dealing with this. So I found myself giving out the same sort of 5 exercises to people to help them. And at the same time, NFTs are really blowing up. So I'm getting this education on NFTs. I'm noticing I'm giving the same 5 exercises. Why don't I create a series of NFTs that are these 5 different exercises for people to do at home?
Yeah.
So that's the idea behind the Movement Mummy. It's a series of 5 different exercises that you can literally do every day to unjack your body from working from home. So the Movement Mummy demonstrates upper trap stretch. The Movement Mummy demonstrates a levator scap stretch. It demonstrates a pec stretch. It demonstrates some exercises with bands. But instead of getting it in the form of like a sheet of paper or some random guy or random girl doing it, now we have a mummy that's blinged out, gold chain on, pinky ring on, nice anime feel to it, and in the form of an NFT. And the biggest piece that is important for me is the utility behind it. So owning one of these NFTs also gives you access to those virtual sessions. So let's just say someone buys the NFT in South Africa and they're dealing with any issues. It could be for their hip, knees, neck, back, whatever. They now have access to having 8 virtual sessions with me. Yeah. So the tech is between Zoom and NFTs, like it's just now again adding so much more utility. So not only are you learning a stretch that you can do from the image itself, but you and I, or the owner of the NFT and I, can actually start to work together to address even more of their specific needs.
It's awesome because again, something that can be like intrinsically tied to the culture of the business that makes sense. I think that's where these things are going to win out. We were talking for Pepsi. I was creating an NFT project, and it's not just about, at least at that point, because we weren't first to market, about creating just an NFT that's out there, but we did want to tie something digital to the physical world. So I think that's really awesome.
I think those are going to be the projects that are really successful.
Yep. All right, so things are hopefully humming along right now, but I have to ask, you're a father now, 3 little ones, yeah?
Father of 3, Chance and Miles and little baby Noah.
So and then as a legacy of Fit Club, where do you want this to go?
Mariana, my wife, had also mentioned to me, like, what if they want to become PTs one day? And like, that would be awesome. If they don't, then it's fine, but I would love to get 5 here in New York City, tri-state area. And then once we have 5 here, then start to look at other areas around the country. There's definitely some hubs in major cities where I feel like Fit Club and the brand can be very successful. So that's my ultimate goal, is first push to 5 here, and then strategically look at other cities across the country where we can continue to have an impact.
That's awesome. And obviously exercise and movement is so important, now probably more than ever, because like you said, we've been stuck at home for way too long at this point. Do you still get out on the court at all? Do you hoop it up, or?
I wish. To anyone out there, please email me if it's something that seems like work related. I can answer it there, and we can have a meeting at the basketball court, right? Yeah, not as much, man, and it's unfortunate because for me that's great for my mental health.
Yeah,
my default is work, grind, go. And if I don't have outlets, I legit will just fall into that default over and over and over. And basketball is just a great breaking point for me from that. So, please, anyone.
As Fit Club continues to grow, Kellen has made a point to be involved in the community, organizing neighborhood runs, workout sessions, and info sessions to involve locals. He and his team continue to provide exceptional service to clients in their venues, virtually, and also provide enterprise sessions for corporations looking to expose their employees to a healthier lifestyle. His vision for the brand and his dedication to his craft is unmatched in the space, and it's only a matter of time until he hits his goal of 5 New York locations. Thank you for joining us this week. Please come back next week for another episode. In the meantime, please subscribe, like, and comment on this and all of our videos to help the algorithm.